So in this video, I'm going to be building the turbo collector and the turbo bracket. It did take a little bit of time to make both of these parts work together, so hope you guys enjoy. So I just picked this kit up off of eBay. It was about $100. This is a 3-inch exhaust kit. Comes with some of your typical U-bends, 90-degree bends, and straight pipe sections. I should have gone and sprung for stainless steel, not knowing that it was only like $20 more. So I just went with your mild steel 3-inch exhaust kit here, which isn't bad. It'll still do the job. But you live and you learn. I know for the next build I do, I'll probably end up doing stainless if it comes out to being a high-end build like this. If not, it'll be just your standard mild steel like this is. But it'll be fine. It'll function exactly the same way. So I'm going to be merging two 3-inch pipes into this T6 flange. And there's a lot of math involved, so I'm not sure entirely how I'm going to get this to go. So I'm probably going to be winging it here. But all in all, we'll see how this comes out. Hopefully it won't look so weird. So as you can see, I've gotten my two 3-inch pipes to actually merge, making this my collector. But I had to go and notch it out little by little, so that way there wouldn't be that big of a gap in between both of them when I go to weld it. And I actually left a little bit of meat on this side of the collector, on this pipe right here. That way I would have enough room to weld without it blowing through to the other side. I wire wheeled this, clean it up a little. I'm not a welder by any means, but this came out pretty good. So the next step is going to be where I basically shove this collector into this T6 flange and weld it up. I measured this right here with the micrometer, and 444 thousandths. That's how far of a squeeze I've got to get this thing to go. So then I'm going to tighten this vise to this measurement so that it becomes the width of the T6 flange. So then I'll take my hammer and then I'll start persuading this thing into becoming a rectangle so that it'll start taking shape to fit within the flange. Thing about doing this thing is putting dents in my body hammer here, and that in turn transfers into my sheet metal. So if I ever have to use this again, I'm gonna have to grind this down and make it completely smooth. Okay, it's kind of squarish. Actually almost fits in there. And you don't want to mar it up. You can always get an old hose here. It won't mar up the part too bad. So like I was saying with this thing, where it would transfer into the part whenever I do body work, it'll be the same thing with this thing. I'll transfer every single beat into this part, so I'm gonna use a piece of wood so I'll do all that. Started to get my pieces out around because it wanted to split around this part on the vise here. Just trying to get it even in there before I start to go to town on welding it. It's not coming out too bad though. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start tacking it up. So then I used a C-clamp here to pull it in, and it helped suck this area in, so it's a little bit tighter of a weld. just had to make sure it was straight. I mean, it's a 1/2 inch piece of steel here. So I just made sure nothing was sticking up here, and that was a very tight weld. It might not even be the best, but it's there, and nothing comes and protrudes above. Alright, I think I'm done. I ended up getting myself a set of turbo headers. I got the turbo sitting here just hovering in midair right there. It's gonna be sitting right up in this area, and then the exhaust is gonna go right through that big gaping hole that I made on purpose so that this exhaust can go out, because it's a 5-inch exhaust pipe that's gonna be coming right off this turbo here, right off that. Then I got the collector right here. So I made a line on the side here where it's at the bottom of that pipe right there. I'm gonna make a lot of pie cuts and make the thing turn. It's gonna be real tight here because the turbo is so big. If I had it sitting up here, I would have had to cut the core support, and I didn't want to have to go that route. I still have to get an alternator relocation bracket to come up here. And I was sitting here for 2 hours just staring at this thing, trying to figure out how to route everything. And then I thought, as if it was sitting like this, that it wouldn't work in my favor. So I had an idea. Well, I could go use the old header, just one old header, and it fits without me having to cut into the body. I could put the wires back, I could put the brake lines back, and not have to worry about relocating the AC bracket, relocating and making these 90-degree elbows here, because it was gonna hit into the pipe one way or another. Then it would be hitting the ABS pump. I don't want to have to repipe everything right there. Makes it easier, just leave it alone. So came up with this ingenious idea. Just use the other header, make a crossover below the car. It might come up through here in this section and come up and feed right into the other side of this T here. These exhaust pipes were, I believe, the same inner diameter as the ones right here, so it's not going to have a difference in flow rate coming out of the exhaust there. The only thing is getting 3-inch exhaust to somehow come up through this little opening. And I don't even know if that's going to be the opening or not, but I'm going to try and make it that, because that 5-inch exhaust has still got to drop below. Probably have to reroute these wires here so that they don't get burnt or anything, and then the pipe will come through here and it'll come right above and right into the T. I wanted to make it look symmetrical with these pipes, but whatever. Because this thing is so heavy, and I'm going to be making a bracket that kind of goes somewhere around in the T6 flange here. I'm going to have a bracket that comes here to here, so that way the weight isn't being all put on the exhaust manifolds here and possibly cracking it. So this is 50 pounds in itself. So since this is on this side, and I'll have the AC compressor on this side and the alternator bracket on this side. It should help even out the weight here in the car instead of having everything on one side or the other. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start doing pie cuts to make this into a 90 off the base here, but I'm gonna somehow make this thing turn. Turbo is sitting there now. I got it all welded up. It clears the side here and the frame on the bottom. The next thing on the agenda is put a plate here and put some kind of brace that's going to be attached somewhere. It's probably not going to be welded to it like I thought it was going to be. It's just going to basically bolt to it, to the top here. And then I'll have webbing or bracing from there to there. Got a template made out here for this part of the bracket. I got the plate cut out and cleaned up, and we got it bolted down already right here. And now I'm gonna make a little bracket off of this one too. I'm gonna make it come around this thing like a C. Built the bracket there. The bracket there. It's bolted up. I made it like a claw on this side. I tried making it look different. I just tightened it all up, and now I gotta make braces come from here to there. Just got this section of the turbo mount done. Alright, got that piece cut out, got the holes put in it. Got the second piece cut out now, and it goes in just like that, but I even had to put a little bit of a bend in it and taper it a little bit right there too. Got it done. Now I have to clean it all up. You see all the blue and everything like that from the heat. And you gotta clean up the welds a little bit. So I cleaned it all up. Got it re-welded in behind it, and then I cleaned off all the welds on it. Try to make it look seamless. So now I'm doing the wastegate. I just welded the bead around this. I'm gonna cut a hole right here, and then I'm gonna make it route that way into the exhaust after the turbo. Now I'm just getting this thing cut out with a 2-inch hole saw here. Taking a little bit of time because it wants to lock up, because it's not really meant for this, but slowly but surely. Got the hole cut out. Took a little bit of finessing because it had a big chunk of where it was meeting up in between here. So I just got it to recess just enough for me to put this right in there. Cut it down however much. Alright, so now I got the pipe here, and I just went and traced it all the way around. Now I gotta trim all this off. That way it won't be a restriction there. Alright, got the wastegate welded on now and attached, and it's gonna be pointing this way. I gotta make it somehow turn this way and come below this. Basically, it's gonna have to be pretty close to being below that. Alright, just the brackets and the pipes are mounted here. I don't have the turbo on it, it's so heavy. Just to lift it underneath, I have to get on my back just to put it on. It's just getting heavier and heavier. The bracket's almost 8 pounds by itself, and then you got this wastegate that's probably another 5 pounds. It's almost like it's 70 pounds over here that I'm having to lug in and out. And I've been taking this thing back in and out just so I wouldn't get junk in the turbo when I'm welding. I've got it clocked here just a little bit, and hopefully go right down through there where the exhaust is going to come out of the turbo. So that concludes the video for the week. I know I didn't get to this in the video, but it might interfere with the intercooler, the turbo, where it's located at, but it should be fine. I think I'll be able to get at least the radiator in there. Not sure about the condenser, and at this point I'm not even sure which intercooler I'm going to be going with. I know I need to get the bigger one, the really big one, to go and put in there so that way it's getting cooled off and everything like that. I'm not sure entirely right now what I'm going to be doing, whether or not I'm just going to put a straight pipe right to the intake manifold. That's probably what's going to happen for the time being because it's a street car. If it was a race car though, and I kept running it, then yeah, sure, I'll get the intercooler, put it all in there, and I might get the intercooler later. So if you like this video, hit that like, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for watching. Hope I see you guys next time.